morning, children. Let us start with a new chapter. Chhatrapati Shivaji. Chhatrapati Shivaji. So he is only Shivaji. So topics we are looking forward to: rise of the Marathas under Shivaji. So till that it was Mughal Empire, isn't it? So Mughals had to be defeated. So for that what happened? A new warrior came here. He is called as Shivaji. So rise of the Marathas under Shivaji. Shivaji's military achievements: political administration, land revenue and army, religious policy. Now let us go for the lesson here. The physical features of the Maratha country made the Marathas hardy soldiers, and this gave them the strength to fight against the Mughals. So during Mughal Empire, that is during Aurangzeb's kingdom, what happened? That time Shivaji came into existence. Okay. So they were belonging to Maratha kingdom. Aurangzeb was to the Mughal Empire, but these people were to Maratha Empire. So what happened? That time these people came into being, came into existence. So what happened? We'll see. The physical features of the Maratha country made the Marathas hardy. So they wanted to fight against Mughals and defeat them, and they wanted to rule the country. So what happened? They started becoming strong. They started making more practice of training to fight and all those things. Like that, they started becoming very, very strong. See, Maratha country made the Marathas hardy soldiers, and this gave them the strength to fight against the Mughals. So they went on practicing and practicing, taking training for fighting. So that's what happened. They became very strong. So the Marathas became very strong when compared to Mughals during the period of Shivaji. They held important administrative and military posts in the courts of the Sultan of Bijapur and Golconda. So now what happened? Because they were very strong, they just took over the higher posts in the country. So what happened? That was during, see, at the courts of Sultan of Bijapur and Golconda. So they took all the higher military posts, these Marathas. They owned large jagirs and were prosperous and influential. So they got more and more amount of jagirs, means tax. They got tax from so many other sources. Like that what happened? They became very prosperous. They were very wealthy. Okay, very rich, prosperous and influential. So everybody were taking care of these Marathas. Why? Because they were very strong. Now, rise of the Marathas under Shivaji. Shivaji's father, Shaji Bhonsle. So Shivaji's father's name was Shaji Bhonsle, was a chieftain under the Deccan Sultan. So see, these people were very clever and good. They were very strong, isn't it? So what happened? Shivaji's father, who was Shaji Bhonsle, was a chieftain under the Deccan Sultans. During the Deccan Sultans, he was the chief of that army. With the decline of the Deccan Sultanate, the Maratha chieftains declared their independence and began to rule from Pune in the Konkan region. So what happened? When the Deccan Sultanate declined, means it was completely defeated. That time what happened? His father was Maratha chieftain, isn't it? So immediately what happened? They themselves declared that they have got the independence. They got independence and began to rule from Pune in the Konkan region. So they started ruling from Pune. Earlier it was called as Pune, now it is called as Pune. So where it is? In the Konkan region. The Marathas established an independent kingdom under the leadership of Shivaji. So he was a great warrior. So under the leadership of him, what happened? They started having their own independent country, independent kingdom. So under the leadership of Shivaji, and became a military threat to the Mughals under Aurangzeb. So during this period, Aurangzeb was also very scared because these people were very strong. Marathas were very strong. Aurangzeb was under Mughals. So he was very much scared. Shivaji was born in 1627 near Pune. He was brought up under the care of his mother Jijabai. So his mother's name was Jijabai, father was Shaji Bhonsle, isn't it? Mother was Jijabai, who narrated heroic stories and inspired him. So what she used to do when he was a child itself, she used to say stories about great heroes. Great heroes. So what happened? Listening to that, always listening to nice moral stories, he grew and he also wanted to be a patriot. He wanted to have his own kingdom. This Shivaji. So his tutor Dadaji Kondadev means he had a teacher also called Dadaji Kondadev. Also, so under father, mother, and even he had a guru. Guru means his teacher, tutor, Dadaji Kondadev. Also influenced and inspired him and taught him military and statecraft. So he also, what did he do? He started training him in military. That means how to defend his own kingdom. So that all was taught by three members. One was father, one was mother, and one more was his teacher, tutor. Shivaji grew up with the dream of founding his own empire. So now he started, because he had heard so many stories of what great warriors, isn't it? From his childhood itself. So he also wanted to become very strong and he wanted to have his own kingdom. He gathered a band of young hill tribes and trained them in guerrilla warfare. So what happened? There were so many tribal people now, so he gathered all those people and he started training them how to wage a war and how to fight against the enemies. So that is called as guerrilla warfare. Because they were from tribes, no, so it is called as guerrilla. Okay, guerrilla warfare. Shivaji's military achievements. What was his military achievements? When Shivaji was 18 years of age, the Bijapur Sultan fell seriously ill. When he was at the age of how much? It was 18 years. What happened? The Bijapur Sultan fell seriously ill and his control over Bijapur weakened. So this Shivaji was just waiting for that, isn't it? So when he was not well, what happened? He was not able to take care of the kingdom. So finally what happened? That started becoming weaker and weaker. Bijapur kingdom started becoming weak. Shivaji employed guerrilla warfare tactics, attacked hill forts in the mountain ranges around Pune and took control from the Bijapur commanders. So what happened? He had already trained these tribal people for guerrilla warfare. So what happened? He took the help of those people and started defeating everybody and he took the control of Bijapur also. Though he was in Pune, he took control of Bijapur. Many powerful Maratha chieftains were also brought under his control and so many other chief rulers of Marathas also came under Shivaji's control because he was the strongest among everybody. So everybody came under his control, even Marathas also. Seeing the growing power of Shivaji, the Sultan of Bijapur sent a powerful army under Afzal Khan with orders to bring back Shivaji dead or alive. So what happened? This Bijapur king was very much ill, isn't it? But what happened? Shivaji was taking care of everything and Shivaji was conquering all the different kingdoms. So when he saw this Bijapur Sultan saw that, what he did? He just made one more powerful army leader called Afzal Khan and he sent Afzal Khan. King of Bijapur sent Afzal Khan to fight against Shivaji. Why? He understood Shivaji is going to defeat King of Bijapur. So Afzal Khan he sent and he said, whatever you want you do. But I want Shivaji to be either killed or brought alive. You have to bring him to me, you have to capture him and bring him to me alive or dead. So Afzal Khan with orders to bring back Shivaji dead or alive. Afzal Khan arranged for a meeting with Shivaji to negotiate peace terms. Okay, so what did Afzal Khan do? He was also very cunning. So what he did? He invited Shivaji stating that we will have a discussion. We will have a discussion how to bring up our kingdoms, what to do, how to bring peace. So let us have a discussion, he said. Afzal Khan told to Shivaji. But Shivaji was also very clever, no? Afzal Khan was cunning, but Shivaji was very clever. So what happened here? Shivaji to negotiate peace terms, but Shivaji suspected foul play. So Shivaji understood. He is calling me not for any meat. He wants to kill me. That is why he is calling me. He understood. Shivaji understood it very well. He was very clever. When Afzal Khan embraced Shivaji. So what happened? When Shivaji came to Afzal Khan embraced Shivaji. When Afzal Khan embraced Shivaji and attempted to strangle him and he wanted to kill him. By embracing him, he wanted to kill him tightly. He'll hold like this and he wanted to kill Shivaji. See, when Afzal Khan embraced Shivaji and attempted to strangle him, means to kill him, holding him tightly to kill him. Shivaji struck back. So immediately what happened? Shivaji just went back and plunged the iron tiger's claws into his body. And immediately what he did, he took the iron tiger's claw, like tiger's claw it is, like this, you can see. So with that what he did, he just pierced to Afzal Khan's body. He pierced it. So what happened, Shivaji struck back and plunged the iron tiger's claws into his body and killed him. So can you see the weapon here? So he just killed him. Actually Afzal Khan wanted to kill Shivaji, but Shivaji killed Afzal Khan. So that is the iron tiger's claws. So this is Chhatrapati Shivaji. So guerrilla warfare means a type of warfare based on the strategy of making sudden attack. Suddenly. Now you know surgical strike and all this, like that they want to have a sudden strike. So sudden attack on the enemy, particularly at night. During night time they want to just attack the enemies. So that they will not be prepared, isn't it? So easily they can kill them. That was the reason. Now, did you know, according to Ranade, Ramdas, more than any other saint of Maharashtra, called people's minds to the performance of duty, while the heart was to be set on God. No wonder that with his teaching he helped the formation of the Maratha kingdom as no other saint had done before. So this Ranade, according to Ranade, Ramdas, he was a very great saint of Maharashtra, and what he did, he helped the formation of the Maratha kingdom with all his preachings and other things, and no other saint had done before. So normally saints means they will start preaching only about peace and loving and all those things. But this person, he said how to build up the kingdom strongly. That was what he said. Who? This Ramdas. Okay. Now let us see here. Shivaji's fame began to spread after the defeat of Bijapur Sultan. So Afzal Khan was killed. Like that what happened? Bijapur Sultan was also defeated. So when Bijapur Sultan was defeated, though he was strong, Bijapur Sultan was strong, but Shivaji became more strong. He was still more stronger. So then because of that, he became very famous. Shivaji started becoming famous. So see, Shivaji's fame began to spread after the defeat of Bijapur Sultan. In 1663, Aurangzeb sent Shaista Khan to curb the rising power of Shivaji. So what did Aurangzeb do? He was a Mughal emperor, isn't it? So what happened? He wanted to kill Shivaji. So immediately what he did? He sent Shaista Khan to defeat Shivaji, to bring down the power of Shivaji. Again through guerrilla warfare. Guerrilla warfare means suddenly having a night fight. Suddenly. No? So that one, again through guerrilla warfare, Shivaji managed to kill his son and several officials. So what happened? Again Shivaji also did not keep silence. With the guerrilla warfare, he started capturing everything. He started, Shivaji managed to kill his son. Whose son? Aurangzeb's son, and several officials, and so many other officials also were killed. The Shaista Khan's army was taken. Okay, so Shaista Khan's son, he killed Shaista Khan's son. So what happened? The Shaista Khan's army was taken by surprise and defeated. So what happened? Suddenly, because all of it they are not prepared, suddenly you go and fight against them, what happens? They will be killed only because they will not be prepared for it, right? So that is called as guerrilla warfare. So with that only he used to kill everybody here. So thus Shaista Khan's army was taken by surprise and defeated. The next year he captured the Mughal port at Surat. He slowly one by one he started capturing, and so Mughal port was also captured by him at Surat. Aurangzeb was alarmed. Now Aurangzeb could not keep silence because his kingdom is going down, isn't it? So what he did, we'll see. Aurangzeb was alarmed by the Maratha victory and sent his most powerful general Raja Jai Singh to subdue Shivaji. So what happened? He had so many ministers. One of the generals, he said, who is that? Raja Jai Singh, to subdue Shivaji. Shivaji put up a brave resistance, but Shivaji did not keep silence. What he did? He started fighting against it. Brave resistance, but finally was forced to sign the Treaty of Purandar. So finally he had to agree for some discussions, and he has made some treaty. So he had to sign. That is Treaty of Purandar. He 23 forts and accepted the overlordship of the Mughal emperor. So what happened? He surrendered 23 forts and accepted the overlordship of the Mughal emperor. So though he signed all those things, but he was taken as a lord. That means still great emperor. He sent his son Sambhaji to attend on Aurangzeb. So what he did? He sent Sambhaji's son, Shivaji's son was Sambhaji. He sent him against Aurangzeb. Raja Jai Singh persuaded Shivaji to go to Agra and meet Aurangzeb that he might get the governorship of the Deccan. So what did Raja Jai Singh do? He persuaded Shivaji. You go to Agra and meet Aurangzeb that he might get the governorship of the Deccan. So you will get the governorship of the Deccan. You go and meet Aurangzeb. That was said by Raja Jai Singh. He was humiliated at the court and treated indifferently. So when Shivaji went there, he was very badly treated. He was not welcomed. He was badly treated. He was made to stand among the lower ranks of the Mansabdars. So what happened? Shivaji was not given a higher chance. He was given a very lower chance. He was just made to stand along with other people, normal, common people. He was put under house arrest in Jaipur Bhavan. So what happened? He was arrested. He was captured and he was arrested. But what happened? He managed to escape in a... Shivaji managed to escape in a fruit basket. See how clever he is. Fruits will be coming to the emperor's, that is kingdom, isn't it? So slowly he got into a fruit basket. And after a long and difficult journey, he reached Maharashtra. So these fruit baskets will be loaded on the lorries and all that. No, like that he just got into a fruit basket and he was taken by the lorry. So what happened? He reached Maharashtra. Finally he reached Maharashtra. In the next 4 years, he recovered most of the forts he had lost to the Mughals. So in 4 years what happened? He became still more strong and most of the forts which were under the control of Mughals were captured by Shivaji. Then in 1674 he crowned himself king at Raigad and assumed the title Chhatrapati. So what happened? In 1674 he himself said that I am the king of Marathas, and what happened? He just got into the throne and from that day onwards he was called as Chhatrapati. After he came into the throne he is called as Chhatrapati. Before that he was only Shivaji. But when he took the rule, isn't it, over Marathas, that time he was called as Chhatrapati. From there onwards he became Chhatrapati Shivaji. Shivaji's empire extended from Kalyan to Goa and included parts of Karnataka and Mysore. See, Mysore, from Karnataka, Mysore, and then extended Kalyan to Goa. All slowly he started capturing the South India. After his death, the Mughals once again started harassing the Marathas and Shahu. So after his death, after Shivaji died, what happens? Again these Mughals started becoming strong. And what happened? They, see, once again started harassing the Marathas and Shahu, the grandson of Shivaji. Shahu was the grandson of Shivaji, was imprisoned by Aurangzeb. So his grandson was caught and he was imprisoned by Aurangzeb. Shahu was released from captivity by Bahadur Shah. So one more person, Bahadur Shah, came and what he did? He released Shahu from prison. The Maratha rule lasted over 100 years under his successors. So totally 100 years they were ruled, these Marathas ruled from Shivaji to the other members. During Shah's captivity, the Maratha territories were ruled by their prime minister known as the Peshwa. So when Shahu was caught, he was imprisoned. No, so that time what happened? A governor took the throne, and what happened? The prime minister, he was a prime minister called Peshwa. Peshwa. He started ruling this Maratha kingdom. The Peshwas ruled faithfully on behalf of the Marathas. So they never did this one, what to say, deceiving, means they were very faithful. They never wanted to trouble these Marathas. Though in the place of Marathas they were ruling, they ruled it with full dedication. Understood? They never was unfaithful for people. They were very faithfully, very kindly, they were ruling the kingdom. Though they were from different religion, that is Peshwas, not Marathas. But they did it very well. So let me stop it here, children. We'll continue in the next class.